p.m. and worldwide. Come on in. Well, we have such a fabulous show for you tonight. Hello, Blog Talk Radio audience. Hello, YouTube audience. Hello, Stitcher audience. Hello, Podbean, now broadcasting on podbean.com and TuneIn. And more to come in the future. But here we are tonight in the lovely city of London, England. The hippest city in the world, they would say, some would say. And all points in between, because we are heard worldwide. My guest tonight will come to you from Alabama in the USA, and their names are Chris and Leisha, and they run Twin Flames Unite. That's their website. I mean, sorry, not the website, the YouTube channel. They have a beautiful website, which is all about the jewelry and the T-shirts they make, which I will talk to you about when we get into their bio. They are my guests. I'm not bringing them up just yet. Hold on. But come on in, everyone. And welcome to the show about twin flames. Now, what is a twin flame? Do you know? Well, I'm sure our guests will tell you all about it, but basically, from what I understand, your soul was created with two halves that separated, originally a whole, separated and went off to seek adventure and knowledge and development, and you come back together, and the road to coming back together is not easy. Why? They're going to tell us why. Sometimes maybe it is easy, I don't know, but we'll ask Leisha and Chris. And they had a story, they have a big story about coming together as twin flames. I thought I met my twin flame, but I was wrong. So you could have both twin flames.
Oh, yeah.
You could have, you could have met your twin and it didn't work out. You could have sought your twin and finally found them in your elderly years. Sometimes that works too, like that. So there are many, many reasons why twins do get together, don't get together. Who's your twin? Who isn't your twin? What's the false twin or the dark twin? And I'm sure they are going to be just telling us everything there is to know about twin flames. Now, I want to go back a little bit first before I bring my beautiful, and they are beautiful. They are beautiful, both of them. Before I bring my guests up, let me talk about my last guest from last week. I want to say a big thank you, right, to my guest, Rachel, the astrologer, and also very interested in spiritual, witchy things, beautiful things, nothing negative there, Rachel, the lovely Rachel from aeolianheart.com. If you tried to see the video of that, YouTube gave me a slap on the wrist because the music. You know, I didn't really think that they were too bothered about the song from Doris Day, but apparently they are. So I got a caution, not a caution, I don't know what you call it, but I had to kind of fight to get the video shown. They blocked it. You can still hear the whole show, music and all, on blogtalkradio.com. Just go there, / Cafe Esoterica Radio, and you will find all our shows in the archives, including this when this is over. So if you want to go and listen to the show with music, tonight I'll have to mute on the YouTube channel. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest, but I'll have to mute when the music comes on, you know, because I have two computers here, I have two laptops. And Blog Talk Radio is on one, the show is coming out of one, and I'm doing my live stream, and you can see me on YouTube on another. So just to make it clear for my audience, I'll just turn you can see, here's the show all lined up, right? And this is a Blog Talk Radio station, so to speak, the website. This is my show, right? Here's my guest. And this is a notice from YouTube and Facebook, whatever. And these are the music things set up. So this is how you do radio. Everything is programmed in, you know. Not all things are spontaneous. But if you don't know that, so now you understand. And so again, I'm going to try and sort this in the future because what a pain in the butt. But we have beautiful music on. Of course, the show's about love, so of course I'm going to have great music on. Now, so let me give you another. I have a couple other things I want to say. I just graduated 3 beautiful light workers from my metaphysics 2. That's advanced metaphysics. They've taken astrology courses, tarot courses, and now metaphysics 1, and now just completed metaphysics 2. So I want to give a big shout out to my beautiful light workers. I've put 3 more in the world. The road is long. It's not easy to be a light worker. It takes guts, real bravery in a world gone mad to stand up and say the truth, to be the truth, and to walk the path of the truth. And I put 3 in the world to just this past week, and they all got their certificates of completion. They are gorgeous. Their names are Dawn Burns, Risha Leone, and Laura Harrows, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you. You will go out there, and they're already doing things. They're already working in spiritual work. But theirs is the world. Leisha will tell you, Leisha and I were talking about being a light worker. It's not easy to do this work, folks. I know people glamorize it on YouTube like it's nothing. Well, they're not doing the work if it's nothing. It's important work. It's very powerful. And you have to do the inner work to be part of that experience.
Oh, yeah.
So my students all do that. They do that work very deeply, and I watch over them like a mother cub, a mother lion to a mother lioness to her cubs, basically. That's my phone. Everything's going off. And I want to wish a big happy birthday to my cousin, Mikkel. I won't say her age, but she is my first cousin, and if she's listening, she's loving Outlander now that I told her our story is in there, our family, the Patterson story is in there. That's my grandfather's surname, Patterson, from Edinburgh, Scotland. So we have lots of Outlander life together, amongst other things that we have in common. She's very spiritual, Mikkel, and she does great jewelry, too. Mikkel Design. So there's a plug for you, Mikkel. Now, tonight, let me talk about my guests. They have a website called, let me just find all my papers here. Hold on. Here we go. So let me just read a little bit about what they sent me. Chris and I met at work back in the summer of 2016. So this is fairly recent. And I'm not going to read that because I want them to tell that story. But they came together. They found their way to come together. It was not easy. They'll tell their story. Leisha makes beautiful copper and jewelry, gemstone jewelry, gorgeous, very spiritual. And they have the T-shirts as well with beautiful logos, very spiritual logos, which I love. I'd like to have some, actually. And also, so that website is thirdeyeapparel.com. So isn't that nice? What a great website name, Third Eye Apparel. And let's bring them up. So their names are, they have a beautiful website. Let me just say something else before I bring them up. They're on Facebook. They have their own YouTube channel, okay, which is twinflamesunite, which I'll put the links up in the chat boxes in a minute. And they also do counseling. They do counseling on spiritual awakening, the twin flame journey, relationship advice, and business advice. And I'm hoping they're going to teach. I'm trying to get them to teach because I think they're both probably teachers from 1,000 million lifetimes ago. Okay, my darling, it's time to bring you up. I can't wait. Here they are. I'm opening their mic. Hello, beautiful twin flame.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
Hi,
Sean.
Chris.
What's going on?
Oh my God, what's going on? That's the question. We all want to know.
Oh.
Okay, so welcome to Cafe Esoterica Radio. They're streaming live on their YouTube channel, which is Twin Flames Unite. So go there if you want to watch them. You can flip back and forth. You can watch me, you can watch them. And so let's talk about where it began. I didn't want to tell your story because I want you to tell your story. So let's go back to, first of all, let's start at the beginning. Did anyone ever hear of the word twin flame before you met?
No.
No.
No, we did not.
We didn't.
We did not know of the term twin flames until 2-3 months after we came into union.
Yep. That is
that's
quite
very
correct.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even more interesting is people think, oh, well, that's just a name. But it isn't just a name. It isn't just a phenomenon, like someone, it's a real experience, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's just as real as oxygen. I mean, you can't see oxygen, but it's real. And if you don't have it, you'll notice right away.
Yeah.
So we've grown so much in our journey that right now I think we're at a place where we don't put as much emphasis on things that that you can see with your physical eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that... Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, we could jump to today, but I think we lose something the journey, as you know, many people, including myself, know that journey is torture. You know, it can be.
It is.
So okay, so tell us the beginning. Tell us how you met, why you met, what happened before you met, where you were at. Let's get into that stuff because that's what I'm sure people want to hear. If they're on the twin flame journey, they want to know, well, how did you do it? Because you came together. We want to know this stuff, right?
Yeah, that is true. How Chris and I met was, I'll say back, it was like 2017. Or 2017, around the summer, I want to say. Or is it 2016?
No, it was 2017.
2017. We were at work, by the way. I had just started working there, and Chris came a few months after. And so I was just minding my business one day doing my work. and we had different teams at the time. So it was like a group of us would be on one team and another group of, let's say 12 or 15 people were in each team. And so I was in my group. And then he just walked by. I guess he wanted to ask a question or something. And he passed by and I seen him. And I was like, oh, my God, who's this? And so one of my coworkers, she quickly got up and she was like, you need to take your eye off him because he's married. And I was like, how presumptuous. Like, I just was asking a question. So I took that out of my mind. So any kind of, because I was single at the time. I didn't have anybody. I wasn't really looking. But it's just that when he came, it kind of like his presence kind of flirted something inside of me. Like it felt familiar. But, I just let it go because she said to leave him alone. He's married. So I did that because I'm very respectful. And so I guess the universe had other plans. So I didn't really say much to him because Chris is very introverted. He's very quiet. He doesn't really say much. And I noticed that he didn't really talk to a lot of people. And I'm not the type of person to force myself on somebody. If they're not going to talk to me, then I'm not going to talk to you either. So, but anyway, moving forward a few months, somehow we ended up sitting right next to each other. And right next to each other. It was so uncomfortable. Like he was directly in front of me. It was just a little bar that separated us pretty much. And so I'm like, this is very interesting. So we really didn't say much to each other except for hi and stuff like that. He might ask me a question here or there, or I might ask him a question. But one day I didn't have a car anymore, and I had to get to work, and Chris lived in my area. So my supervisor said to me, why don't you ask Chris if you can carpool with him to work? And I'm like, what? I'm trying to find other people to ask. So eventually I went and I asked him, and he said, sure, let me just ask my wife, because he was married at the time, and I'll see what she said, and I'll let you know. So he did. He inquired, and she said it was fine. And so we started riding every morning. And I mean, being in a car with somebody every morning coming to work, I mean, you're going to build like a relationship. So we started talking, and we built a very good platonic relationship. Like sometimes we'll go to eat breakfast together, and it was get me, where is he? And he didn't call, he didn't say anything, and I'm like, this is weird. So I didn't push. I just took an Uber and I went to work, and when I got there, he had moved. So he moved all the way down the other end, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And so I thought that
he moved out of the job, or he moved
no, he just switched his seats. And I was thinking, because I was starting to feel something for him. I wasn't sure what it was, but it was a real, like a strong connection. And I really, to be honest with you, I couldn't explain what it was. We were just getting close. And I thought, well, maybe he didn't like the feeling, so maybe that's why he moved so far away, because he was married or whatever. And he never explained anything to me. I just never seen him for 2 days. And then when I did see him again, he was all the way at the other end. And, I just didn't even bother asking him anything.
Yeah.
And then I moved from that. Yeah.
Wait, Lisa, before you go up forward, don't you think it's ironic that A, lived in your neighborhood, and B, he worked in the same place as you?
I know, and then we have so much in common, and I think that's probably what it was, because as we started conversing, we started realizing that we had so much in common, and I think it started getting uncomfortable after a while. That's what I think. But Chris will tell you something different.
I want to ask Chris, what were you thinking this time? What were you thinking?
Oh, wow. During this time of Leisha and I meeting each other, for one, when I first saw her, I just saw her as another coworker. And, of course, at that time, like she said, I was married. So I purposely didn't talk to anybody at work because I didn't want the perception that I was trying to find somebody at work. So, but when I met Leisha, something felt different. Didn't know what it was at the time, and we just became friends. And one of the things that's so funny is that a lot of times she would come and take my bowl because she needed it to like warm up some soup or get some grits or something like that. It was funny. So that was kind of like our connection was the bowl. And actually, we still got that bowl.
We do.
I don't know if you noticed that. We still got that bowl. I just thought about that. That is crazy. I almost want to go grab it and show the people on YouTube, but we just became friends. And like she said, one time she didn't have a ride anymore, so I started helping her out with that. But at some point, I did feel like there was an attraction there, and part of what I did was really back off because I didn't want any other issues other than what I was already going through. So I really pulled back, and that was part of the reasons why I didn't pick her up at work anymore.
Didn't call, didn't say nothing, moved his seat. Like, I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, and then she ended up getting promoted to another department, and we didn't see each other for about a year.
Yeah. Yep, for a while.
Wow. So can I just pause there? Because a lot of people who are on this journey or want to be on this journey or were on this journey and thinking, is it right? Is it wrong? Did I do it right? What happened? Because there's a lot of confusion about the twin flame journey, a lot of scary and dark moments in that journey, which we'll go into. But just as you're just in the beginning of it, and I think it's very interesting that the universe set it up, or you set it up.
That was the universe.
The universe, okay, but on a higher level, before you were ever born.
Yeah.
Set up. We'll meet in this place. Yeah, well, one of us will be married.
Right.
The other one, and to have that all going on, and then not see each other for a whole year.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that? I'm just curious. Did you say, "Oh well, forget it. That was nice. Next."
Well,
or did you think,
"No,
I can't forget about it"?
It was hard because he would like when I was driving, like sometimes I'll be driving and I'll like see him, but I'm driving, so I can't really stop.
Right.
But it was this. I want to say this if I can. I hope you don't mind me saying what my intuition told me. Can I say?
Oh, go right ahead.
So during during that time, and this is how I know it was something more, because after we got together, he confirmed everything that I was feeling. During the time when we were at work, when he was helping me to get to work, I had a feeling like he was very unhappy, and I don't know where the feeling came from, and I really didn't ask for it. I would have rather not known. But I just kind of got an intel that like he was extremely unhappy, almost kind of like being kind of like, I wouldn't say abused, but taken advantage of, and not being treated like how he was supposed to. And so I was sitting at my desk minding my business one day, and all this information just kept coming in. And I'm like, I need to go get some air. Like, why am I feeling this? I don't want to know this. Like, this is really not my business. And so I told my friend what I was feeling, and she said, at least you just mind your business and leave it alone and go on about your day. I'm like, but he's not happy. And he's like, well, Alicia, it's not your place. Leave him alone. And so that's what I did. But it was very strong. And every time I would see him, like walk in or something, maybe going to lunch, because I was in a whole different department. So times were just not right. It was like we were crossing, but didn't have time to talk. Have that same feeling like, he's not happy, or how can I help? And then my friend voice comes back in my head, Alicia, mind your business. So that's what I did, mind my business. And it's not until after we got together now that he actually confirmed that everything that I was feeling was true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we jump into you guys getting together, we're going to have a break in about 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes time, and I want you to take your time, because this audience, believe me, they want to know all the details.
Yeah.
I want. So, okay, Chris, you're married, and Lisa,
was
you
married.
didn't see each other for you were married.
Right.
And that's what I meant. Back then, we're still back there.
Yeah.
Right.
And Lisa, you didn't see each other for a year. So what happened in that year? I'm just curious. What happened in that year? Because were you spiritual? Were you already doing, meditation or anything like this prior to that?
Well, that's actually what started me on my path, to be honest with you, because within that time, it kind of drew me back. Like I went through like what's called the dark night of the soul. Like after I lost my car, not too long after that, I actually stayed at home for about 2 weeks, and I didn't go outside for 2 solid weeks. And that's when I finished my book that I wrote. It's called A Moth is Also a Butterfly. It's a book of inspirational poems. And within that same 2 weeks, and that's not too long after I met Chris, so it was kind of like a trigger, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I started up my nonprofit, Crossroads Life, which I'm still in the middle of setting up. And then I started doing like really deep meditations and stuff like that. Before it wasn't that intense, but after that, like kind of, you want to call it breakup or split up, it kind of pushed me over the edge, like to dive into spirituality. And then I started seeing 9/11 like every single day. It almost drove me insane. 9/11, I try to run from denial. I would try to run from it, but like one day I thought I missed it. I was like, yes, I didn't see it. Good. And then my friend texts me. She's like, Leisha, look, 9/11. I'm like, are you serious? So it's like all these synchronicities started happening. And then I got in touch with a shaman who was helping me activate my macabre. So I kind of like accelerated after I met. So I kind of used that time to develop myself spiritually and just started to get to know myself and cleanse myself and get rid of trauma and all the karmic relationships I had. So pretty much that time for me was a time of clearing and getting to know myself and, you know, just kind of like growing spiritually.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a couple things I just want to share. Number one, I text my daughter's father that you guys were on, and it turned out that the text he wrote, and I was in the process of writing 11/11.
Oh,
it
wow.
was in 11/11 that. Yeah, so that was one coincidence, which was no coincidence.
Here we go.
And we both laughed. And we both really laughed about it. Okay,
Wow.
so that's funny.
Yeah.
Number two, so many people, as a spiritual teacher, like the death of my first boyfriend really was what woke me up. I was already psychic, but I didn't know how to use it or what to do with it. So when you meet someone like that, what happens inside of you? What do you feel? You know, do you feel like, oh my God, this is the other half of my soul? Or do you feel like, why do I feel so peculiar around this person? I think Chris had mentioned this to me. So, or I heard you say something on your YouTube video. Do you want to share that, Chris, about how you saw Leisha and or what you felt in that year? You know, just in that year, because we're going to go deeper when we come back from our break.
Are you talking about the time period that she was like that year that we didn't see each other, or when we actually got together?
Yeah. No, we didn't see each other.
Okay.
The year we didn't see each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during that year that we weren't together, there were probably like 1 or 2 times when I would actually see her in passing, because I found out that she moved to a different department. And the times that I would see her in passing, like, for whatever reason, like, I was like super excited to see her. And once again, it was a conflicting thing because, I mean, at that time, I was right at the tail end of my marriage. But we would just see each other in passing, and I would be like excited to hug her, but I didn't let her know that I was excited to hug her. But it was just one of those things. Hold on. I thought I put that on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, but I would get like really excited when I saw her. But once again, didn't know exactly what that feeling was. And it was strange because it wasn't like a sexual attraction. It was more of a pulling of sorts. Because when Leisha hugs, she doesn't give like side hugs like those church hugs. Like she gives a full embrace hug. She doesn't do like the side hug thing. Yeah.
Well, your soul, excuse me, your soul must have recognized that hug. That's why it was so special too. You know, on some unconscious level. You know, as the consciousness begins to open up. Now, beautiful souls, tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are in the world, we have 2 gorgeous twin souls named Leisha and Chris, who have their own YouTube website, which you can watch their videos, and I tell you, you learn a lot. We're just dipping our toes, and we're going to have our first break. And when we come back, more about the twin flame journey and how they got together and what they're doing now, and we have some great music to go with it. I do see a caller in the queue, area code 307. I see you there. Don't worry, we'll get to you. Okay, hang on. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm choosing the music. I have to turn off this volume on the YouTube. So sorry, folks. You'll hear me when we come back with Leisha and Chris.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm muting my YouTube, and I'm leaving my. I mean, it's a bit nuts, but I have to do it. Okay, here we go. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. And the first song I thought perfect for the twin flame journey when you're not together, Need You Now by Lady Antebellum.
Aww.
Okay. All right, y'all.
That was nice.
Now, just you gotta excuse, I got the mic right here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We love y'all so much, and we see y'all's comments in there. Is that Aaron or is that Adrian? Adrian. Wow.
Whoopsie daisy.
That's a very significant name for us. Well, for me.
The synchronicity keeps going on.
But definitely we understand that this journey is hard. It's not one for the faint of heart. So definitely start. Wow. It's so much going on today.
Y'all have no idea. Like we look like we got it. We keeping it together, but it's so much. Like it's so busy. And guess what today, guys? At 11:11. Today's 11, right? We saw 11:11 this morning. 11:11 last night, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to see it again tonight. Yeah. Like for the past 5 days, all we've been seeing is 11:11.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So, and getting back to that, this journey is hard, and you have people like us, and I'm pretty sure there's some other people that you may be getting in contact with that are on the spiritual journey that could help you out. But you really have to start connecting with yourself. You have to start loving yourself, because once you start loving yourself, then you can really get connected to just about everything.
Everything,
to be honest.
And especially if you're feeling that you do have your twin flame here, if you feel like your twin flame did come here with you in this lifetime, the way that you will find out is get connected with yourself. And it's only because your twin is you. So if you're not connected with your twin, if you're not connected with yourself, it's no way you will not be able to connect with your twin, because your twin is you.
Right.
So the first thing you have to do is to get in connection with you. Start finding out who you are. And start respecting yourself. Start loving yourself. All the things, imperfections that you don't like about yourself, love it, because you're perfectly perfect.
Yes. And for those of you who are watching, please forgive us, because it's probably about a 5-second delay. So we definitely see the messages coming through. Thank you, Regina. She always dropping them truth bombs and them gold nuggets and everything else.
They be coming through with this Lemurian. Is this Lemurian seed quartz? This right here, guys? Yeah. Lemurian seed quartz. This is from Atlantis. Yes. Like from way, way, way back. The ancestors left us these things. They're like the Lemurian seed quartz is like a CD. You know how you can put music on a CD? So back in the days, our ancestors knew that they can store information on these crystals. And if you look at the Lemurian seed quartz, you see it looks just like a CD. It has those stripes. So that's where the information is stored. So if you really meditate with the crystal, you can get a lot of intel. And so I keep it on me. So, when the divine is ready to come through, it's just coming through in these streets.
Yeah. And for those of y'all who are first time watching this, and if you haven't subscribed, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Yes. Go ahead and join the family. You'll notice in the descriptions and the chats that we are very, very active and helping people through the comments. So we do our best to help out. So definitely subscribe. And once again, we do have our channel that we're trying to build up as far as financial wise. So I did put a link down in the description. If you wanted to donate towards our channel, you can. But we got to get back to the show.
Back with the lovely twin flames, Nisha and Chris from Twin Flames Unite.
We're here.
You guys know that song?
Yes, we're here.
You know that song?
Yes, we heard the song.
Know that song?
Yes, I know that song. I definitely know that song. I'm telling my age.
Okay.
Yeah, I know too,
That's
so
all right.
it's all good. It's all good.
It's all
The
good.
song it really tells the story, doesn't it? It's
Yes.
like it's a quarter after 1, and I need you now, and the man is saying, "Oh, I'm a little bit drunk, but I need you now." It's like that part that longs to be together.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. You guys, the phone lines are lighting up here. I've got a couple people, 904 area code. 770
Wow.
area code. We have 7 area codes. We will get to you now. The twins have to tell their story, and then we'll take your call. So let's go back to the story. The story was Chris was not happy in his marriage, and Leisha had moved to another department. They didn't see each other for a year. Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
Well, I guess I can speak from my part. During that time of the year separation, I went through and finally got my divorce finalized back in like July of 2017. Mm-hmm. And after that time, that was a rough decision for me to make because there was a child involved, my son, my only blood son. And it was a very difficult decision for me to make, a difficult transition to make. But I pretty much made that decision because, and it kind of lines up with what we're doing now, is I came to the point where I really started to love myself, and I didn't want to be in a loveless relationship. And in addition to that, I didn't want my son to follow the example of what I did. As far as staying in a loveless relationship, because I wanted the best for him. And I know right now he probably doesn't understand that, but hopefully down the line he will. But through that point, going through the transition of divorce, really starting from rock bottom, ended up getting myself together, and I started to date again, but that was a nightmare. A complete nightmare. This is before I met Leisha, of course. And when that relationship was over, I ended up going through what we all know in the spiritual community as the dark night of the soul, where I was really questioning my whole existence on what am I doing here on earth. And I went through that. Yeah.
You touched upon, see, you guys, you're so used to talking about this stuff, but remember, we have a worldwide audience, and some people are saying to themselves, what's the dark night? What's he talking about? So could you explain to my listeners who I'm sure I've experienced dark night of soul myself. It's never nice. It's very difficult. So, I mean, you went through that. So tell us, and maybe Leisha went through it too. Tell us exactly what happened. Tell us exactly what is the dark night of the soul.
Okay.
Rock bottom.
Yeah, it's pretty much when you hit rock bottom. And to be honest, the dark night of the soul is something that you can go through more than once, depend on where you are on your spiritual path or how far you deviate from your spiritual path. But what it mainly was is that I was literally questioning my whole existence on earth, and to the point that I didn't want to be here anymore. I actually wanted to check out and was trying to think of ways to check out. But when it really came down to it, I understood that if I did something like that, I knew, for one, my son would be devastated. So I had to get to a point to where I finally asked myself one question. If nothing else changed in my life, if the situation stayed exactly the same, what would I need to do in order to be happy? And as I sat and pondered about that for almost about a week, I came to the conclusion that if I could just love and accept myself for who I am, then I can be happy. If nothing else changed, then I would be happy. And I started that process. I started to go back into the gym, started working out, really getting myself up, putting a lot of positive vibes all around me, from motivational videos to people who were positive, because like the people at work at that time were like super negative, so I stayed away from them because of that. Not even
like not even a little negative, like
yeah.
super negative.
Yeah, and I got to the point where I was really just happy being with me. I took myself out on dates, and yes, guys, you can take yourself out on dates. And I got to the point where I was happy if I was with somebody or not. And then late November, early December. Was it late December?
It was late. It's around
late
right
December.
Before Christmas. I would say like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, about 2 weeks before Christmas. That's when I ran into Leisha at the mall.
Gave me the biggest hug of my life.
Isn't it funny? Can I just stop you there? I know I'm going to be, but I'm just trying to open those doors of perception for people. First of all, it's very interesting that you did the work individually, and Chris and Leisha, you did the work individually before you even came back together.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what work is. What is the work? What exactly is the work, and why is it essential for twin flames who are either don't know each other yet or in separation? Why must they do the work?
Want me to get this one?
Oh, go right ahead, baby. You got this.
So, so what is doing work? Everybody's talking about work, work, work. So when we say do the work, it means that no more sweeping things under the rug. Because we like to sweep things under the rug and ignore it and pretend it does not exist, and hopefully it will disappear. It's not going to disappear. If you have childhood trauma, if you have things about yourself that you don't like, anything within your spirit, anything within yourself that you would like to heal or that you would like to see change, whether it be your attitude, it doesn't matter what it is, anything of your essence of your being that you would like to work on that you know is holding you back. Let's say, I'm going to use this example for myself. When I was young, I was molested as a child, right? And so I swept it under the rug. I never dealt with it. I said, you know what, I'm strong. I don't have to pay attention to that. I swept it under the rug and never talked about it. However, that actually bled into my adult life. It manifested itself in different ways. So it made me not trust. It made me feel insecure. So all of these emotions and feelings, it were actually stemming from that one thing that I wanted to put under the rug. So that was just my example. Everybody might have a different example. So I had to pull it out of the rug and face it and deal with it, get therapy. And I had to go through the emotions. I couldn't hide the emotions. I had to feel everything. I had to go through it, because a lot of times we try to get over something. People would say, get over it. That is such bad advice, because you have to actually go through and come out on the other side. Because if you go over it, you're skipping a lesson, and life is here to learn lessons. So you have to go through it so you can pass through it. And that is what work is. It's being with yourself, being with your emotions, laying with it. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to laugh, laugh. Whatever you have to go through, you have to feel it, you have to own it, you have to know it's yours, you have to know it's you, it's a part of you. And then once you have accepted it, like, you know what, hey, it happened, but guess what? It's okay. Because if I didn't have this experience, it would not make me into the person that I am today. So it's like coming into full acceptance of everything that is, everything that shaped you, and knowing that it's okay, and being able to look back at it, being able to talk about it. And when you're talking about it, if it's not bringing up like feelings of resentment, anger, if you're not still feeling those things while you're talking about it, that means that you're getting better, you're doing better. Because then you're accepting it as part of you instead of trying to separate it. And that's how I would consider what work is when you're doing work. And that way, when you...
Can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just ask you a question? Because that's a very profound and very powerful thing you just said, and it's almost like I want to underline it 10 times, you know? Because my guest, I'm sorry, not my guest, but I have had many psychotherapists on the show, believe it or not. I've had holistic doctors on the show. I've had people who do spiritual healing, homeopathy. You name it, I've had it on the show.
Yeah.
And every single one of them would say, and I mean this, every single one of them, because I only have good people on and good doctors and good healers, good psychotherapists would say what you went through was not only devastating for a child or a young person, but some people never get over that. That's lost all their success in life, all their love. That's lost all the good things that can come to them in a lifetime because they feel worthless, they feel shameful, they feel devastated, they feel, worthless is a good one, right? Yeah. So how did you come to the point that you were able to even function before you even went to therapy based on it? I'm just curious because that's damn hard stuff to get over.
It is, and I never did, and that's the thing where you have to do work because I ignored it. I tucked it under a blanket or under a rug, and I carried on with my life, and I filled my life with things, and I kept myself so busy. Like, I would go to school, I would work, I have kids, and like I was always super busy, and I was so busy to the point where it was no room to think about anything else. So that was my way of handling it. But then you can break down after a while. So that's not a smart thing to do. So it took me actually breaking down to the point where I had to go seek therapy. And when I went to the therapist, that's when I really realized that I had some problems. So, and then she helped me to expose what I was hiding. And that's when I really started working on it. Because I couldn't hide it anymore. How long am I going to be busy for? Like, I mean,
not too much longer.
So that's how I did it. I just kept myself very busy. And that's not a healthy, it's not healthy to do something like that. But that's how I coped. It was a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm. So can I just say a couple things here? Because I know Twin Flames on the Journey often, here's some of the things that they do to cope. They drink too much, they do drugs, they have multiple partners, so they're having sex with anyone and anything. They don't see life as sacred, they self-abuse and self-harm. I mean, there are a lot of people listening to this right now who really want to be their other half, right?
Right.
But they're stuck in addictions, they're stuck in bad relationships, they're stuck in self-hate, stuck in self-abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes on and on. So I'm making a big point here about what Leisha did. Leisha said, I'm not going to do this anymore, and I'm not going to live like this anymore. And she got help.
Yep.
Can we just emphasize that?
Yes, that's what I had to do.
That is so essential in the twin journey. People think the twin will heal you. Well, I'm sorry, you have to heal yourself. Is that correct?
That is absolutely
so
correct. And
absolutely.
And that's the whole purpose of a twin flame relationship. It's a trigger. It triggers you to start working on yourself. Simply because your twin is pretty much you. So if you have a part of yourself that you haven't dealt with, that you're tucking under the rug that you don't like, and you're pretending it's okay, when your twin comes along, the part of yourself that you don't like, the aspect of yourself that you decide to bury, that you don't want to acknowledge, your twin is going to come and mirror that, and they're going to show it to you. And then that's where the runner and chaser phase begins, because you don't want to admit that that's actually you, and there's something inside of you that you refuse to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so pertinent, because my next question was about the running, the chasing, the twin separation. So, I know we still haven't finished your journey, both of you.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. We just go there because why do twins go in separation? Here you meet each other, you love each other, or you have a fancy towards each other, as the British say. I like you, whatever. But or I'm repulsed by you. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And you run the other way, and then what happens? And I see all these YouTube videos of these tarot readers going, oh, well, here's for twins in separation, because, of course, they're all the same, right? And here's for twins that, one is married or one is cheating. Or what. I think they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me. I would never.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I can answer.
Go on, baby. Jump
on
in.
that one. Okay. So, so when it comes to the run and chaser phase, there are a few things that are happening that have to be recognized. The first thing is that when someone runs in the twin flame relationship, they're pretty much running from themselves. There's some aspect of themselves that they are not willing to deal with. And that's one of the things, and I'm going to circle back on that in just a second. But then the other thing that has to be taken into consideration is that not everyone is going to be in a romantic relationship with their twin.
Exactly.
Because it's a very rare occasion when someone comes in contact with their twin flame who's also their soulmate. And I'm so thankful that I actually got the winning numbers and got a soulmate and a twin flame all in one. But
okay, now that brings up another question, because you just hit the nail on the head. What is the difference, and is there a difference, because I think there is, between a twin flame and a soulmate or a kindred spirit? Do you know?
We actually did a video on that.
We actually did a whole video about soul family, twin flame, soulmates. It's a whole down on that.
And it is a difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. And I'm gonna try to make this as short and sweet as possible, but it's way more complex than what I'm about to say.
Just sum it up, baby.
Yeah. So when a twin flame comes into your life, their sole purpose is to help you ascend on your spiritual path. They're supposed to activate some type of key or activate some type of program inside of you to help raise your consciousness from whatever level you're on. If you're on a 4D level, it raises you up to 5th, 9th, so on and so on. So that's the main purpose for your twin flame, is to help you grow and help activate those spiritual gifts that you have to go out and help the world.
Yes.
But when you come in contact with a soulmate, this person is someone that you're connected with in harmony. Like everything comes together like easily. Like there's no arguing or anything like that. And even if there is arguing, because in every relationship, for every relationship there is some bit of argument. But here's the difference: when you get in contact with your soulmate and you all get into an argument, you can sit back and say, "Oh, okay, I understand you. There's something that I need to change so that we can make this relationship better. Let's go ahead and collaborate on how we can best do this so we can move forward." Versus other situations where it is more pointing fingers, like you need to change, you need to do better. I'm perfect. You're the one that's messed up.
They play the blame game.
So that's a big difference in that.
I've had a few boyfriends like that, I must say. They're perfect.
Right.
Nothing wrong with
me.
Right?
Got a whole presentation on how you did wrong.
A slideshow.
Yeah, so.
Okay, we won't go there. That's a dark alley. We'll come back to the
Yeah.
So basic, but you learn from each one, don't you?
Yes,
so,
that's true.
So what happens? So now we know. Okay, I think about so when we're talking about twin flames, we're talking about the difference between twin flames, soulmates,
and kindred spirits.
And what about the soul group? Can we just, while we're there, let's just talk about soul groups. What are soul groups? So my audience knows, and I know, but they want to hear.
Yeah.
So what is a soul group?
Well, soul group, from our understanding, from our intel, is just pretty much like your soul family. It's people that you incarnate with for lifetimes upon lifetimes. You just choose to incarnate with these people. Like, you know, it's like they're kind of like soulmates, because you can have many soulmates, but you can only have one twin flame. So it's like a cluster of souls that choose to come into lifetimes together to work on different maybe karmic relationships or whatever have you. That's what I feel that's what that is. It's like a soul cluster.
Yeah.
And you can recognize them, like you see somebody, and it's not sexual, but it's just like, oh my God, I know you from somewhere. Like, we have so much in common. Like, where do I know you from? But you can't really picture it. That would be like a soul family. You just feel like you know them, and you feel it's love for them, and you don't understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
But so if anybody wants to actually see our whole breakdown of that, we do have a video where we broke down the whole soulmate, twin flame, kindred family to help give a better understanding for that.
Go into a lot of details. Yeah.
Okay, that's on Twin Flames Unite.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
Your website. I mean your YouTube channel. Sorry. Okay. All right, we're coming up to almost the top of the hour. I can't believe it.
Wow, that's so cool.
I know. We have a couple minutes. Let's talk a little bit more about. So it's interesting. Because the soul family, soul family, soulmate, twin flame. What have I left out? Kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits. Yeah.
Yeah. Kindred spirits are like people that you hang around. Like, for example, my best friend Edward is like one of my kindred spirits. Like, we hang out together. We help each other do stuff. We talk with each other from time to time about serious topics or just shooting the breeze, talking about just about anything. So it's just somebody that you really vibe with. It's like that slogan, like, what is, I forgot the words. But you find your tribe when you find your vibe or something.
There you go.
You know, I may be messing it up.
That's it.
But
your vibe attracts your tribe.
There you go. I know my mind was slipping there for a second. But yeah, so that's where the kindred spirits come in.
It could even be a dog, like a pet.
Yeah.
You know, a kindred spirit. Like, I know Ashley for sure. A dog. She's a kindred spirit, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting that you said that, because I, as a person who sees spirit, I know that our pets, even when they go to heaven, they definitely come back and visit us.
Oh, yes.
And they are very connected to our soul group.
Very.
They're our family, really.
Yep.
Well, we did it. At the top of the hour, we're going to take another musical break, and we lost all our callers. They don't like it if I don't jump on the phone right away. But, you know, the Cafe Esoterica Radio prides itself on really interviewing the guests and letting the guests be the star of the show, not necessarily the callers. So, folks, if you want to call in, the lines will be open after this next musical break. So please call in and talk to our lovely twin flames, Chris and Lisa of Twin Flames Unite. They're on their own YouTube channel. They also have thirdeye.apparel.com, which is their beautiful jewelry, spiritual jewelry and clothing. And they're on Facebook. And, you know, they would love to take your calls. So area code 516-387-1809. I'm going to do what I did before, because there's a copyright on the copyright laws on YouTube. I have to mute. I'm muting my sound here before I put on the next song, which I must do, sadly. So here we go. Hold on. That's the protect me, so I don't get thrown off there. And here we go with We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. Beautiful song.
That's my song.
That's my song.
That's my song. Oh my God.
Love that. But I said to both of them, give me a song, give me a song, give me a song. And they were like, well, we don't have a song. Here's your song.
That is my song. She picked my song. Oh, that's my jam.
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna let Alicia listen in on that because we ain't trying to get beamed by YouTube right now. Oh boy. Well, I hope y'all are enjoying this interview so far. I mean, we are. Alicia's over here vibing, doing her thing. But I wanted to point out some of the comments that we're seeing here. I do show one from Unconditional Love. Let's see.
That's my jam.
Yeah, you got to see. So I'm just scrolling back through. So with Unconditional Love, we definitely, first of all, want to thank you so much for even watching our videos. And I know if our relationship reminds you of the one that you're in, I can understand how hard it can be to sit here and watch our videos, especially when she acts like this.
I'm sorry, guys. That's my song.
But you know, it all, everything happens in phases. Everything happens in cycles. So you definitely want to.
Y'all don't mind me, please. It's my song right here, I promise.
Yeah, but you definitely want to continue to work, even if you watch our videos or not. Continue to do your inner work, because at the end of the day, your life is not our lives, and we want you to live your best life.
Yes,
So
live your best.
No matter
life.
what's going on, always live your best life.
Always, guys, live your best life no matter what. If you're with your twin, you live your best life. If you're not with your twin, you still live your best life. Doesn't matter, because if you're not with your twin and your twin look out the window and he see you living your best life, he's gonna be so proud of you, or she's gonna be so proud of you. So you always want to be living your best life.
Yeah. Look at our girl. I'm sorry we interrupted your video.
What happened?
Look what she said down there. She said, hey family, I jumped on the computer to make my own video and ended up stopping to watch you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're so sorry.
Oh boy. Well, we love you too.
We love you too,
Wendy.
Wendy.
We love you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Now, if y'all see in the comments, I just posted the phone number to call in. So if you're in the United States and you got unlimited minutes like most of us do, but you can definitely call in and we can talk with y'all one-on-one.
Yep. And
once we come back from this break, we actually gonna start talking to some other people.
Yeah. Call. That's my song, baby.
Yeah, that song's the sweetest.
Mariah, when Mariah was.
Alright, so we gotta go back.
And we are back.
All
The
right.
next hour, we'll be talking again to Chris and Leisha, who are twin flames. They made it through the rough and the smooth of the twin flame journey. They have a beautiful life now. But we're going back to how they finally came together. So I guess you guys like that song.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my favorite, well, one of my favorite songs. That's when I used to love Mariah. I still do, but that's when she used to really make a lot of good music.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I'm glad I tuned in and picked that up.
Yes.
I got the vibe.
Yep.
I got the vibe.
You did good.
Okay, so here we are now. Now all our callers fled. Isn't that sad? Okay, come back, callers. Come back, because we'll take your calls now. If you call in, area code 516-387-1809.
They might have got impatient just a little bit.
Yeah, they don't like the wait. I don't know what it is. They're listening to the show, so what difference? But anyway.
Yeah.
Here we go. So let's go back to, how did you finally, you did all the inner work, both of you, and then what happened? How did you finally decide we belong together, like Mariah Carey? When did you decide that?
I guess it would be on our first date.
Yeah. January the 6th.
Yeah. January is when we went on our first date, and we haven't been apart since. Wow, this
been a while, huh?
It's October.
We haven't been apart now. That is crazy.
That is crazy. But on that first date, we went to a
bar.
Yeah, a local bar, and they were doing a pool hall, and they were doing karaoke. And like I just went there because she invited me to go out, and I was like, yeah, I want to go out, have some fun. And when we were there, it's like normally I like my space. I don't like people like all in my space. But when I was sitting next to her, it felt normal. It felt right. Like if y'all are watching us on YouTube, she was like this close in my face, and it was like no problems at all.
Yeah.
And I just had this feeling like I wanted to kiss her, but I didn't do it right then. But I was just really enjoying our company and us being together. And actually, let me backtrack a little bit because I'm pretty sure some of the people that are listening haven't heard our story on how we met. So I got to backtrack to something else, because when I saw Alicia in December.
Oh, you didn't say that part.
No, I didn't say that part yet. But when we met in December, she wanted to hang out, and she wanted me to help her work out because I had just started my personal training thing, and I was getting in shape, and she wanted me to help her get in shape as well. And we went a few times, and right around the last time we went together before we went on this date, she sent me a text and was... she'll probably tell you the part right before she sent that text. But she sent me a text. It's like, I got a crush on you. And I was like, what I got?
He didn't even respond. He took so long to respond. I was so scared.
Yeah, when she sent the text, I was like, I'm attracted to you too, but I'm not sure if it's something sexual or what it is, but I know that I'm drawn to you, and I want to see where this goes. So fast forward a little bit, we went on the date. We were like in each other's space with no problem. Yeah. And at the end of the night, I drove her back to her car because we met up in separate cars, and we decided to go out. And when I dropped her back off at her car, that's when I told her that I wanted to kiss her. And that kiss was just out of this world. And I was like, wow, it sent off fireworks in every inch of my body. So, so yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
It was nice.
So polite. Yes. Come on.
Yeah, and so since then we've been together on a journey, raising kids together, doing our business together. Left our 9 to 5 because we went way down the rabbit hole and figured out
we went too far down the rabbit hole.
I know you guys are very awake.
Yeah.
So let's go there since we don't have any questions on his side.
Yeah.
Because they will hear this in the archives, and they will hear, and we don't know who's listening, probably loads of people.
Yeah.
So we want to say, when you have a twin flame connection, it's a deeply spiritual connection.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You can't remain.
Oh, yeah.
You can't remain the person you were. You have to become. You don't have to, but it doesn't make sense that you would wake up in the connection.
Yeah.
So the spiritual journey begins. It was already happening in separation, and then you got together, and it's in his kiss. That song, it's in his kiss. How do you know if he loves you? It's in his kiss. And so the kiss was profound, and you said, "This is my girl, and I'm never going to let her go."
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, on the summer summarizing it. And then where did the spiritual part come in? Where was the part that said, I need to start looking at that rabbit hole? I need to start realizing what is this whole story about being on the planet? You know, who am I? What am I?
Yeah.
Well, that's the big question, right?
Yeah. Well, we credit a lot of we credit a huge part of our spark of starting that journey to Ralph Smart.
Infinite Waters.
Infinite Waters. If your listeners don't know who Ralph Smart is, definitely check him out. Infinite Waters.
Yes.
Through him, it sparked a lot for us to start diving into.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, Alicia was a lot further along than me. But one of the things that really set it off for me, and we can go into this if we have time or not, but but when there was one day I was coming back from doing a job, and I was listening to one of his videos, and I saw one that was talking about the
God code.
The God code. I was like, the God code? What is he talking about, the God code? Because prior to this, I was very heavily into church. Jesus, all of that.
Religua.
Yeah. And so that was a lot that I was basing myself on. And knowing I trusted Ralph and a lot of stuff that he was saying was making sense, I was like, let me listen to this video and see what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into it, I mean, I don't. Okay, I have to give a disclaimer here because we're not atheists or anything of that nature.
But we also not religious.
Right, because there is a difference between being spiritual and there's a difference between being religious.
Right.
Now,
many of my guests are the same.
Yes.
We all have, we're not preaching the gospel. We're talking about spiritual.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Go on.
And so when I listened to his video about the God program, which is pretty much a control tactic for the masses, and religion in general, not just Christianity. It's just so much that's going on in this world that a lot of people are blind to, and the religious system is part of it that's keeping people blind, because they have all these fear tactics that if you don't do such and such, you're going to end up going to hell. If you want to get out of hell, you have to pay your tithes to the church, pay your penance to the church, say your Hail Marys, so that you can go to heaven. And not understanding that heaven is a state of mind.
Yep.
And hell is a state of mind as well.
Exactly.
And understanding that sin was never something that was in the Bible. It was something that was added later on through the Council of Nicaea.
For control purposes.
Through a whole group of men, no women included,
Mm-hmm. All men.
Anglo-Saxon
Mm-hmm.
men that created this whole Bible system. And then the crazy thing is that when I started looking into that and I started studying astrology.
And then the 7 Hermetic principles.
Oh, yeah, the 7 Hermetic principles that really put it there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started searching astrology and I started looking back at all of the ascended masters,
Mm-hmm.
from Buddha to Krishna,
Everybody,
all
of them.
ascended masters, and when you look at astrology, it all goes back to Egypt.
Yep.
And it all is based off of the stars.
Astrology. Even
It's
the
all based
age
off the
that they
stars.
talk about, all these different ages. I mean, it's so much information that, for one to really understand, they really have to seek knowledge, to whom much is given, much is expected. And in Egypt, in the tombs, it say everywhere, man, know thyself. It's a reason why it says, know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find your own truth and not
Right.
just accept what you're told, because the mass, that's a whole nother topic right there. But
Yeah.
just know that religion is, from our research, the word religion derives from the word control. It's like a control mechanism to control the mass, to control the population, so that they're easily ruled and they're easily doctrinated. It's not to benefit the mass, so to speak.
No, so yeah, once I discovered that piece of information, we continued to dive deeper into finding out what's real. And what's real are things that never change.
Exactly.
I mean, man-made laws change, religions change, because there's so many different versions of the Bible. It's crazy, and other religious texts. So you have to go back to finding out, connecting to what's real. And we understood that our soul is real.
Because that never changes.
Our soul never changes. So we decided to walk a path to get more connected to our soul, to our higher selves, so that we can really get back to the flow of the universe.
And the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know what, twins? You have the most gorgeous attitude. Oh, my God. Everything you just said is what I've been teaching for 34 years, honestly, about religion, walking the spiritual path, understanding that your soul is eternal. I think you took that beautiful truth, and we got 2 callers.
Nice.
Awesome.
Can we take some calls?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So the one who came in first, you're going to be on the air with Chris and Lisa, and it is area code 818.
818?
818, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name, please? What's your name? Can you tell me your name?
Carmen.
Carmen. Hi, Carmen.
And I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Oh,
Los Angeles.
Okay.
Nice.
So what would you like to ask the twins?
Well, when I saw that they were about love, I'm like, oh, God, I need to know about that. I'm just trying to see when I'm going to have a breakthrough in that department, in the love department, and what's coming up for me. And I'm talking long term, because I feel like I spent a lot of time just not really doing anything long term.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, before they answer, I don't think they're not going to psychically tell you stuff. They have walked the twin flame path. So if you were listening to the show, you understand that every human being has a twin. If you want to meet your twin, your other half from your soul, then they are sharing their experience to help other people learn how. Does that help you? So maybe the question should be, how do I ready myself to meet my twin?
Yeah, we could answer that question for her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And thank you once again for calling in from California. We are really on the other side of the...
We are all the way on the other side.
All on the other side. But let me ask you this question first before we answer yours. When it comes to love, why is it, and please forgive it if it comes off wrong. I hope it doesn't come off wrong. But why is love so important to you?
Romantically, so to speak.
Well, I would say that for the most part, I find myself to be a loving person, and I put a lot of love out into the world, so it'd be nice to get it in return and have somebody to kind of share that with and kind of create my own little, happy bubble.
Sounds nice.
Oh, yeah. And you definitely sound like a loving person, so I wouldn't doubt you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you her age because I've been told not to ask a lady her age.
Don't ask a lady her age.
But when it comes to finding love, you have to one of the things that we constantly say to everybody, whether they're in a twin flame relationship or not, is that you first have to really love yourself. And I'm not talking about the persona, the face that's shown to everybody else. We're talking about the person that everybody else doesn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, in order to get to that space to love the person that nobody else sees, you really have to start connecting with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
start doing inner work. And when I say love yourself, I mean the light side of yourself and the dark side of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody has their light and their dark side. And sometimes when it comes to the dark side, that's one of the things that we push away the most.
Yep.
Because it's not socially acceptable in society to be that dark person that we know that we are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you cut off that dark side of yourself and only accept the light side of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting yourself off from truly loving yourself. And then once you get to the point of truly loving yourself, then you get to that point where, like Leisha and I, we were happy living our lives the way that we were. We were both glowing.
Right.
And then when we saw each other, we were like, oh, you're happy, I'm happy.
Right.
Let's be happy together.
Together, exactly. And but once you get that connection with yourself, that full connection, that unconditional love with yourself, what's going to happen is you're going to not need to be with somebody. It's a very strange thing that happens once you connect with your light and dark side. Once you find that balance within yourself, you feel like, hey, you know what? If I don't be with somebody, I'm okay. And it's at that point right there when you feel like you don't have to be with somebody, that's when you're open up to abundance. And that's when you start attracting people. It's kind of weird, but when you get to that place of not caring if you end up with somebody or not, that's when you find someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that before, and the self-love part too. But I got to be honest with you. I'm in a place where I just feel extremely frustrated, and I'm frustrated because I put a lot of time and energy and effort into self-love, and I do feel like I like myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a little bitter for a moment and say, I feel like
it's all good.
You got to be truthful. You have
to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, there's a lot of messed up people in the world, and there's a lot of people who aren't doing their self-work.
Yeah.
And that's very aggravating.
Right.
And then it's also aggravating to look around and see couples everywhere, because it's like,
yeah, you see?
And it's like, I go to retreats.
Yeah.
I've read all kinds of self-help books. I've done therapy. I've written a book. I teach classes. I do all kinds of stuff. And, I feel like the dating environment now is like really toxic, really messed up. And, there's this whole thing of where there's a whole new thing in dating now where people don't even believe in love anymore. It's like, the men are saying get only sex. Oh, yeah, this is a real thing. And this is in the blogs all over YouTube. They're telling the men get only sex from women and ghost them. That means disappear, stop taking their calls. And for the women to just get the money out of the guys, they're never going to love you anyway. And, so that's literally a movement that is happening, in the dating world. So it really sucks for a lot of people, and it's only going to get worse. And, so I feel like I've done the work on the self-loving. And I'll tell my age I'm getting used to it because I just had a birthday and I really hate it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting. Yeah, I'm getting the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned 41 a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's very aggravating.
Yeah.
And you want to have children, you want to have a family, you want to do stuff. And here's my last little thing. And I'm sorry I got to vent a little bit.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Reading, and I was calling around, and I literally spent 4 hours. One host never called in, and another host, the blog talk thing was messed up, and it dropped all calls.
Oh.
So it's just like, I was like, wow.
Yeah. It sounds like you're having it's spiraling down. It sounds like you're spiraling down, and I'll tell you what spiraling down is. And you see, the trick is your outer reality, right? Your outer world, right? is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside. And a lot of people don't realize this. They tend to always look at the outside and say, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's the other, it's the dating, this. But your outer reality is a true reflection of what's going on the inside. Now, if you want your outer reality to change, the first thing that has to change is the inside. And when we talk about doing self-work, like doing self-work, after you've done doing your self-work, it's supposed to bring about, if it was really self-work and it did work, once you're done, it's supposed to make you feel at peace, not frustrated. So then that means that you still have work to do within yourself as far as letting go of expectations. That's a biggie for some people. And the fact that you're getting older, and I sensed that in the beginning of the call, but I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to be presumptuous and say it. But women, as we get older, we tend to put a rush on, you know, the whole picket fence house getting married ordeal. However, and that's why we say get in touch with yourself, because everybody is here on planet Earth for different reasons. Some people come here to have kids and have that family, that picket fence. Some people are here to be teachers. Some people are here to work in karmic lessons. So once you really get to connect with yourself and find out your soul plan, like what you're really here for, then your world is going to start making sense to you.
Yeah, and one last thing, at the end of the day, out of all of the experiences that we go through, whether they're good, bad, ugly, pretty, however they come, it's all for our spiritual growth.
Yes.
Because Earth is a plane for advanced souls to come and learn different skills.
Yes.
And this may be something you want to look into if you ever go into your life plan. If you ever have done any type of things like that, have someone look into your life plan or actually get in contact with your higher self. There are lessons that we set for ourselves before we come here on Earth.
Yep.
So that we can learn these lessons before we come back home. Now, sometimes we learn these lessons before we go, but sometimes we don't. But now, when it comes to connecting with your twin flame or soulmate, whoever that may be, there are certain lessons that have to be learned before you can actually connect with them.
Right.
Because there was some major lessons that I had to learn myself, which was of self-love and not lying to myself, because I was in a marriage for almost 10 years telling myself every day, this marriage is awesome. We've lasted 10 years. We're going to keep going and we're going to be happy. And each and every day I kept getting more and more miserable, to the point that I almost wanted to, well, I did want to commit suicide. I never got the nerve to do it. So there's a lesson that has to be learned in everything. Every interaction, there's a lesson to be learned. And if we actually stop and think, what is the lesson that I'm supposed to be learning out of this? That's when growth happens. That's when happiness comes about.
Yep.
And
peace.
Yes.
That's where you meet peace. I hope that made sense.
Yeah. I had been feeling peaceful until this last guy that I met put a whole bunch of thoughts into my head and made me think that, you know, I was the one, this, that, and the other, and pretty much dragged it on for the last, 10 months.
Oh, wow.
And then, played a lot of games. Wow. And I had that go on before for another, 20 years from college into my adult life. And so, I've done a lot of forgiveness work around that and everything. But yeah, usually I feel pretty good and fine. But, society does make you feel kind of crappy if you literally look around and everybody.
Right, they do.
And all your friends are married.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Look like you're
the problem. Let me tell you what we did. We do not pay attention to society because we have discovered we have never met society. Society does not pay our bills. So we do not live up to society's expectations. And we just tell society we apologize to let you down. But your expectations, we are not going to live up to. So I'm sorry, but by society. So you cannot hold yourself accountable, or you cannot compare yourself to other people's life lessons, because I'm going to tell you this one thing, and I hope you can grow from it like I have grown from it. It's just one small phrase that I got from God, or however you want to say source. We live in a universe, right? Universe. U-N-I-V-E-R-S-E. Universe, right? Now, when you break down the word universe, right, this is what you're going to get. Uni means one, right? And then verse means song. Is that correct? So universe.
Yes.
So uni means one, song. So everybody on planet Earth is really come here to live in harmony. Universe, right? And when you're ready to grow, when you're ready to extend yourself, everyone goes to a university. It's tertiary education. So you go to a university. So when your soul comes to Earth, you come into the universe. So you're coming here to learn. Now, when you're in school, you know, if somebody's in the 6th grade, they're not going to give somebody in the 8th grade the same test to take, because it will be pointless. So whenever you're looking at somebody else who's married, who have kids, or you're looking at somebody else who has this job or whatever, don't compare yourself to them, because you guys are not here on the same path. Like, you have your own path to live. They have their own path to live. So it's really pointless to try to compare yourself to those other people.
All right.
That's not helping in your ascension. You just focus on you and your growth and how far you've come and what you need to work on. And then you're going to start seeing that you're going to become happier. And your outer world is going to start matching your inner world.
Yes.
So...
Yeah. And
that is excellent advice. I think we have to leave it there, because we've got other callers and it's time for our next break.
Yeah.
But Carmen, you got a lot of information. You absorb it. You know, when the student is willing, the teacher will appear. And when you are really ready, I will leave you with that.
Get the kids.
Oh yeah, I'll stay here.
Yeah.
I think you guys really gave her perfect advice.
Yeah.
Now, we have another caller, area code 905, but 905, you're going to have to wait a couple minutes, because we got the next song coming up, and these are very special for this show.
All right.
We're down to the last 20 minutes.
Yes.
So here we go. We're going to have our next break, right? I have to mute my speakers on YouTube. There's a copyright. Hold on.
It's okay.
Yeah,
and
and for those of y'all who are watching us on YouTube, we actually, well, I'm about to go. That's the alarm right now, because we have lives and we got to go and get these kids from the bus stop. So Leisha's going to be here, and I'll be back. Okay.
BRB.
We only have 25 minutes, so okay, here we go.
Okay.
With Valentine by Marina McBride. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
Am I still here?
Yeah. Well,
Is my video still here?
No, they can't see you now. This is when it's ready. If you want to just comment on them with that. If she comes back before I get back, just hit that transition and you'll see.
Hold on, the kids is not even going to be here. It's 2:35. They're not going to be here until 10 minutes. Oh, but you got to drive in 10 minutes.
And I got to put on pants.
That might be something you got to work on. So what you want me to do? Just type?
Yeah, you could just type in. Let me get out first.
Oh.
Because I can't go out this way.
You can play that. Come on. I'm so sorry. I know you wanted to take yourself back. So, am I live right now?
No. This is what people are saying on YouTube right
now. So let me see.
So you can message on there, but it's still gonna show up.
So wait, let me learn how to work this. So I don't have to do anything, right? She'll just come back.
Yeah, because what I did is I took it off a speaker because I don't want that to come on YouTube and it's still.
Oh, got you. Yeah. So I don't need to touch this phone, right?
Not until she comes back.
Okay, good. Alrighty. I'm so scared to be here by myself. Just hurry up before it ends, because I don't even know how to end it. Like, just Do I just hit end stream just in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you did. Just check it. But if you want to go ahead and go back on so they see you, just hit transition. And that screen will move to over here.
Okay, so wait a minute. Why you put it on like this anyhow? Why you ain't fix it? Let me transition. Transition?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
So they'll see you there. I'll be back.
I'll be back. Oh, they said it could hear speaking. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Hold on. Guys, I'm not tech savvy at all. Hold on, guys. This is hilarious. I hope I didn't say anything out of the way. Did I say anything out of the way, guys? I didn't even know. What I said? Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Man, guys, it's been a rough morning. Not rough, but just it feels like time is leaving us. Like literally, everything feels like it's just speeding up. And Chris went to go get the kids. Oh, you're up next, Ryan? That's what's up. It's just so much going on. Like, we trying to keep up. Oh.
Well, that is one beautiful song. Arena McBride, and I hope Alicia enjoyed that.
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay. So Chris is going to pick one of the children up from the bus station.
Yes, yes, he went to go get the two little ones, and so I'm just gonna be here, but it's okay. I can fill in for Chris. I know exactly what he's gonna say and stuff like that.
Okay. Life still carries on even if you're on international radio.
Yeah.
It can still be picked up, but, this is how it goes.
Yep.
Okay, Leisha, we have a caller on area code 905. Let's take the last caller here.
Awesome.
Area code 905. Tell us your name and
hi.
hello.
Hi, how you doing? How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. My name's Ryan Jordan. I actually know Chris. Hi, nice to meet you guys. I just wanted to call and say thank you for doing this show that you're doing. Chris and Leisha sent me the link. They posted it to one of the groups that we're all in, one of the common collectives that we've created to help raise Earth's vibrations and consciousness. And I just wanted to call and say thank you and to the host and to Chris and Leisha. They're absolutely amazing. Everybody needs to get a hold of these guys and watch all their videos and check out this. I guess this is a podcast, I'm thinking?
Yes.
Well, this is on Blog Talk Radio, so it goes out live
Yes.
all over the world. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm one of the creators of one of the groups on Facebook. It's called Unconditional Self-Love Twin Flame Community. There's about 15,000 people in it right now. And also Chris and Leisha are part of the community. And we invite all of you, everybody listening. Our community is about self-love, this journey that we're all on.
Yes.
Self-love. And I didn't want to come and take over your show right here. I just wanted to call and say thank you, how much I appreciate it, how grateful I am.
Oh.
And I just wanted to ask one question, though.
Sure. Go ahead, Ryan.
Really, what is, and I know the answer to this one, but it's so valuable for people to hear it in so many different ways, from so many different angles, from people from so many different walks of life. And this is global, and we're global, and we're here to support the entire world with unconditional self-love.
Absolutely.
That's the key part of the journey.
Yes.
And I wanted to know I already know what Chris and Leisha's answers would be, so it's perfect, I guess, just get to ask Leisha. Leisha and I talk all the time. She's one of the admins of our group, and she's got her own Facebook group, YouTube channel. Everybody get onto that channel, get onto the Blogcast Radio, all this stuff. It's amazing. I love it. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to listen in today.
Yes.
Luckily, divinely orchestrated, as we say.
Very.
But the purpose of this journey is what? Is the question I leave you with.
Okay, so the purpose of this twin flame...
Why are we all here?
We all are
I know
here.
the answer, and I love hearing it. We all have our answers are always right.
Yes.
So let's hear it.
But the real true purpose of the twin flame union, I would say this, it is unconditional self-love. Like, that's the whole purpose behind this union is unconditional self-love. And I'll say this because if you're not able to give someone something that you do not possess yourself. So let's say you're a magician, even if you're a magician and you're able to orchestrate or manifest the apple in your hand, before you can give someone that apple, you first have to produce it. And so that's the whole purpose behind the twin flame love, the twin flame union is unconditional self-love. Once you have that self-love yourself, now you can actually give it to someone else. So that's why it's important.
Yeah, it's so important to do that inner work, that self-understanding, that self-discovery.
Yes.
And have self-respect,
self-love, self-respect,
self-pride.
Yes.
You know, you want to be your true self, not your 3D experience.
Right.
Yourself, definitely.
The fasana. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the fasana.
I'd love to have a chat, and thank you for having me on, and I hope you guys continue on here. I'm going to be listening to the entire podcast all day, or the Blog Talk Radio, and I hope I get to... is it Sean Cohen who I'm speaking with?
That's me, yes.
Awesome. Well, love and light to you. Namaste.
Love and light, Ryan.
I don't too much time. I want other callers to be able to get in. And I would love to speak to you afterwards, Sean Cohen. That'd be amazing, because Chris and Leisha are absolutely part of the Infinity team.
Yes.
And, we're all about bringing out the Infinity, open self-leadership, self-intelligence, for each human being on this multiverse.
Yes.
And that is right here. We're the Infinity, and so are you. It's bringing out the Infinity in every single one of us to our ultimate potential. We need to figure out what we're good at and get tunnel vision on that. And focus on inner work, self-love first, and then abundance comes and fills all the gaps when you need abundance first. And then, well, what's left after that? Infinity, limitless potential, love and light.
Love and light, Ryan.
And you can cut me off now and you can continue on.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much.
All the best. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Love and light, guys. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Well, Leisha, that was amazing, huh?
Yeah.
The group is called what? Say it again for our
it's unconditional self-love. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying it right, because just want to make sure I have it correct so they can see. They can be able to log into Facebook and go into the groups, and they can type the name in. It is, unconditional self-love twin flame community. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, because I belong to a couple twin flame groups.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I belong to that one, so I'll have to double check, and I'm definitely belong to that.
Oh, yeah. This one is amazing. Unconditional self-love twin flame community. They have a lot of support there. Lots of support. A lot of free help from people. It's really good. It's nice.
Well, it's really fun and interesting that here we are, 13 minutes to the end of the show. Did it go fast?
Yes, it went like, I don't know, I was just saying,
right?
Time is leaving me behind. I feel like time is leaving me.
Well, time is an illusion.
It really is. It really is.
We still have to work with it on this planet.
Right.
Time has never been my friend. I'm always late for everything. I live in my own time. I have my own time.
Me too, Sean.
But, Oh, you too?
Yes, I'm never on time for anything. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. Time has never been my friend either. That's why I just decided it's an illusion. So,
Lisa, Lisa, so much in common. I mean, people don't know that we spoke
right.
on Skype yesterday. And you're my soul sister. I love you.
I love you too, Sean.
It's unbelievable. You meet people. I have met so many wonderful. I mean, the show has brought me. Even though you know yourself, when you're on the spiritual journey, you can meet gorgeous people, wonderful people, beautiful people who inspire you, and you inspire them.
Absolutely.
And I have met those people. I'm not saying I haven't. But when I saw you and Chris on YouTube, like a light bulb went on in my head, really, a heart-shaped light bulb.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, because when I was talking to you, like whenever I would respond to you in the messages, it just felt so right. Yeah. It was just something about it. I don't know. And I would describe that like a soul family. That's the feeling that I got, like a soul family.
I get that too. I felt that too. I told someone, I can't remember who, I'm talking about you so much. I told someone, it might have been my daughter's father, these people are in our soul group, man. They're definitely a part of our soul group.
Yeah, and you know right away.
You do know, and that's the beautiful thing about this work, meeting people who you recognize from heaven. I mean, come on. And so, in the last couple months, starting in January, I was telling you this, I'll just say this very, very briefly because we don't have much time. As I said to you before when I was speaking to you yesterday, I thought I already knew who my twin flame was because I had not one but two boyfriends past, well, less than both. Mm-hmm. And they look after me like you wouldn't believe. They're always around me. And they opened me up on this journey. The first one when I was 23 years old, and the next one when I was 48.
Wow.
And even though I thought I knew everything, at 48, oh my God, a whole other layer opened up. My second boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And in both instances, I hadn't seen them in a long time. One 3 years, one 14 years. No, 10 years. 14 before that. One I lived with, one I knew all my high school years. He was my first boyfriend. I loved him to bits. And the other one was after he and I broke up, I met this one. And this one was much older than me. 28 years older than me. And wow. I think when you have, like people are talking about the twin flame journey, and I hear this a lot about age difference.
Uh-huh.
That's the one thing we didn't talk about.
Right. Well, we could touch on it very quickly. Yeah. If you want, I can talk on the age difference very quickly, because I know this will be beneficial to people that are listening who are really caught up on the age and wondering what should they do about it. And I had this discussion with, was it you yesterday? Did we talk about someone I talked to about the age difference?
I think that was
but
it might have been me. I don't know.
With the age difference, what I feel about the age difference, and Chris and I talked about it, and we ended up with the same conclusion, is that the age difference does not matter. And when it comes to like twin flames and even with soulmates, it really doesn't matter. Now, for me, as long as you're a consenting adult and you're capable and you're able to make decisions on your own, you're not like a child or anything, I don't think that the age really matters, because I said this to Chris, there are people who are 21 and they have the maturity level of somebody who's in their 40s, so to speak, Yeah. And when I say 40s, I'm referring to someone who's progressing, like how, a normal 3D 41-year-old would progress. And then you have people that are 40s, and even I've met myself, because I've been in many manager positions and had to train, a lot of different people, different age groups. And there are people who are well in their 50s who are not as mature as people who are in their 20s. So, yeah, and I've come across that a lot in the work field when I was working. But that's why I say it really doesn't, the age thing shouldn't stop you from being in a relationship with someone. Because especially if you're on your spiritual journey and stuff like that, they might have something to teach you, or you might have something to teach them. So as long
in my relationship with Art, and then we have to finish because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
He was 28 years older than me. I was 20. He was 48. And in astrology, that's a Saturn cycle. That's one full Saturn cycle. And I tell you now, he used to say to me, "You're older than me." And he was right. I was more mature than him.
You see what I mean?
So everything you just said is true.
Yeah.
It never came up. Our age difference never bothered either one of us. We never talked. I mean, we made a joke about it. Nothing did.
Right.
Leisha, it's been such a delight to have you and Chris on the show. I don't want to end the show.
I don't want to eat it. It's so good.
I need to follow the rules, even guys, the time, because otherwise we'll go over time and the show won't end right.
I know.
So let me just say this, that Chris and Leisha are available on their own YouTube channel, which is Twin Flames Unite. They are available on Facebook. They have Twin Flames Unite as their Facebook page. They have individual Facebook pages as well. And they are also available in our Cafe Esoterica radio group on Facebook. They put loads of content up there. And folks, if you aren't in it, come on by and I'll let you in. Just look for it. Just put it in the search of Facebook. Leisha, any closing thoughts?
I just want to leave with this one statement. I just want to let everyone know, don't forget to love yourself, okay? Love yourself unconditionally. If you're trying to get someplace, as far as goals, love yourself until you get there.
That's beautiful. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up the show. Say thank you to Chris and to Leisha. And may your flame always burn bright. You two are gorgeous. When I look at them on Facebook, I get tears in my eyes. I mean, on YouTube, because I recognize them. They're so strong. Their love and pours out on the page, on the video. So please do visit their channel. And now I'm going to just say that next week we have a shaman, a female shaman, coming on. And her name is Victoria. Let me just find it here in my notes. Where is it? Victoria. I know it's Victoria. And she will be here next week, same time. Same exact time, actually, on YouTube as well. And where is it? Oh, here, Victoria Corella. And I'm going to read In This Metaphysical Moment. And here we go. Eternal flame. On the cusp of birth, you promised me we would meet again. You said this was the life we would reunite on earth. And as soon as I was born, I forgot. And on the path of my awakening came you, right on time. But I forgot who you were to me. I had to reawaken to your heart once more. You also had to awaken to me, you said, but you did not know why or how, as you had not met before, so you said. I laughed because I felt the same. Yeah. We came together again, not just to love, but to love all, serve all. Our mission as twin flames brings with it great responsibility and great power. But sometimes we run away, sometimes we are scared. But in this metaphysical moment, I will trust in love, that my twin flame knows me, and I know him, and we shall become one once again, to help ourselves, each other, and humanity with the power of our love. May it be soon. May all be healed, get there, and may we all be blessed with the burning, eternal flame of our love. And on that note, my lovelies, I'll leave you with a beautiful song by Savage Garden. I knew I loved you before I met you. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next week, same time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, baby, fix it.
What is up, y'all?
Oh my gosh, we did it.
We kind of fumbled through, but
we did. We barely made it.
Oh man, I hate I missed the last part, but I'm gonna go back and watch the replay.
It's okay. It was lovely. It was nice.
And y'all go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know how well Alicia did. So
I did good.
All right, y'all. Well, we are Twin Flames Unite. We love y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Hello, before I met you. I love this song. She played all my songs. Like, who told her about my songs? Oh my God.